I'd like to call the regularly scheduled meeting for the Village of Tinley Park Plan Commission to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gerald, please take the roll.
Commissioner Gaskell,
Present.
Commissioner Gatto, Commissioner Hamilton, Commissioner Manny,
Present.
Commissioner Merrick,
Here.
Commissioner Sepisi,
Here.
Commissioner Truxell,
Here.
Acting Chair West.
Here. A quorum is present. We will now move on to communications. Staff, are there any communications?
The only thing we have is that Acting Chair West is stepping in for Chairman Gray tonight.
And then I'll just note, of it, number two, item number two, the West Point at Harmony Square today is going to be continued to the next meeting. They have a concept plan, but now they need to get all their plans updated. So they're working on the landscaping, the engineering, and the expectation is they should be ready for the next meeting. I can't promise that because it's not up to staff. We'll see if they get it together, but it does take time for those plans. So hopefully we got that out. We tried as hard as we could to post it on our social media accounts and things like that. So we are going to ask maybe for a motion that get moved up, though, today to the first item, if someone can make the motion to amend the agenda, so that way we can vote, continue it, and then we'll go to item one, is the second one. So that's all I have.
Okay, so moved. And do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Do I need to speak out
You
the,
could just do a voice.
okay,
You could just
all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay, we will now move on to the approval of the minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the September 21st, 2023 Plan Commission meeting?
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay. And I'm so sorry, I'm going to actually ask folks to run through names one last time, just because there's at least one new face. So,
Steve Sapazine. Andrew Merrick.
Jim Gaskell.
Eduardo Manning.
and
Kurt Truxell.
thank you all so much. So, I'm sorry, that first motion came from?
Me.
Okay. And then who seconded?
I did.
Okay, so I have the motion from Commissioner Gaskin, seconded by Commissioner Sepisi. Gaskill, I'm sorry. All those in favor of approving the September 21st, 2023 minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried. So the first motion should be continuing it?
yes.
Okay, so item number one on the agenda is, no, sorry, that was item number one on the agenda. Do I have a motion to continue the hearing for the Harmony Square West Point to the next Plan Commission meeting? Okay,
I'll second that.
okay. Commissioner Gaskell and Commissioner Truxell motioning and carrying, or motioning and seconding. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. Okay, item number two on the agenda is a public hearing to consider recommending that the village board, nope, sorry. Item number two on the agenda, I'm sorry, everyone, is a workshop to consider recommending that the village board grant Iftikhar Syed of Tinley Park Properties LLC, doing business as Splish Splash Car Wash, a special use for the automobile car wash and a variation from section 3.H.2, permitted encroachment in required yards, commercial zoning district driveways of the zoning code. The petitioner is requesting the special use and variation to permit site improvements to convert an existing non-conforming manual car bay wash to an automated tunnel car wash at 7130 171st Street in the B3 General Business and Commercial Zoning District. Site plan and plat approvals will also be considered at the meeting. Staff, please proceed with your presentation.
As Acting Chair West said, this project is to convert an older self-service car wash into a modern automatic tunnel-style car wash. The petitioner operates other car washes in Chicagoland. The existing car wash is non-conforming. Freestanding car washes are not allowed in the zoning ordinance, so a special use is required to allow the continuation of a freestanding car wash use. The property is located at 7130 171st Street. It's zoned B3 and is surrounded by other commercial zoning districts. The nature of the development in the area is generally strip commercial. The Tinley Park Post Office is located across Harlem from this development. So here's a map of the zoning and the surrounding area. You have residential nearby, but not immediately abutting anything. Here is the site plan. As I mentioned, the project will close individual car wash bays and reuse the building for an automatic tunnel. So right now, the car wash bays run through the building on the short side, and they're going to close all those and have the tunnel run lengthwise through the building. They're also proposing closing one of the two existing curb cuts. Here's a annotated version of the site plan so you could see more easily what's going on. The orange arrows indicate the vehicle flow for the car wash tunnel. The green arrow indicates access to the vacuum stations, which will be two-way access. The yellow arrow at the bottom indicates the bypass lane for if there's a mechanical failure in the car wash and vehicles need to be rerouted. Let's see what else. The dumpster enclosure is the darker square at the bottom right of the diagram here, and the employee parking is located next to that. There will be 10 vacuum bays, and one of them will be ADA accessible. For landscaping, a lot of the site, almost the entire site right now is asphalt. The petitioner is proposing removing a lot of the asphalt, but a lot of it's still necessary to allow adequate queue space and vacuum bay space to operate the car wash. So the petitioners worked with staff on several iterations to come up with the plan that's proposed here today. I understand that there's been a update to this plan, which I have not seen. I believe it was sent today. But this plan comes as close as reasonably can be expected to meeting the landscape ordinance, just because of the nature of the development and its redevelopment scenario. What else? Okay, we're expecting the revised landscape plan to be substantially similar to what's here today, so I think we can consider this drawing. The architecture of the building, as I mentioned, the bays will be closed and the vehicles will be rerouted. There's going to be two additions to the building. One is to accommodate mechanical equipment on the west side of the building by the bypass lane, and the other is proposed at the front of the building facing 171st Street, and that's to allow the tunnel width to be lengthened to meet like standard car wash mechanical requirements. Here's the elevation facing 171st Street in both a line drawing and a color drawing. The petitioner is proposing this red color as like the accent color of the building. Part of the building will have red metal roofs in this color. Here are the other elevations as line drawings. The top elevation you can see is the eastern elevation, and all of those windows are where the existing self-service car wash bays are today. The petitioner is also proposing a canopy over the pay stations. There's 3 pay stations We haven't received design drawings of this canopy yet. But we're expecting it in the submittal before the next, before the Plan Commission meeting, the public hearing at the Plan Commission meeting. The building architecture meets the masonry requirements. For signage and lighting, there's an existing non-conforming pole sign on the 171st Street frontage. It's non-conforming for a few reasons. One, we don't allow pole signs, and two, it's located closer than 10 feet from the property line. So if the petitioner is to do any renovation or modification to this sign, they would need a variance. To do anything except reface the sign, excuse me, they would need a variance to bring that sign, to allow that sign to continue to exist in its current form. They're proposing 3 wall signs, one on the front and one on each side. Like I said, and then all new signs must meet code requirements. They're not proposing any variances. We're not approving signage as part of this request. The petitioner is also proposing to use wall pack light fixtures, which are specifically discouraged by the zoning ordinance because of the glare they generate for motorists. In terms of vehicle stacking, there's 10 spaces between the tunnel and the pay station, so that's at the top of this drawing when the vehicles begin to turn. There's 9 spaces between the pay stations and the vacuum spaces. And then after those 9 spaces are filled, the vacuum spaces will begin to be blocked by queuing vehicles. The traffic study said the site can accommodate 33 maximum queuing vehicles, and that would block all the vacuum stations. However, it would allow vehicles to access the site, and there would be no overflow onto village roads. The traffic study also recommended that during peak times, management have staff available to direct traffic to make sure things are moving smoothly and that people can get in and out of those vacuum stations. And then I had a few items in the staff report. They're listed here. I think that we can kind of have more of a dialogue. I don't think they need to be addressed one by one. So I will say that's the conclusion of my staff report and kick it over to you guys.
Thank you very much. Is the petitioner present?
Yes.
We may call on you with questions. If so, please respond from the podium. I'll begin by asking the commission for questions or comments. Commissioner Gaskell?
Nothing right now.
Commissioner Merrick?
I'm interested in the sign that's out there to better understand, so, we're not, I mean, obviously it's changing names, right, from Montego Bay to Splish Splash, so they'll be changing, but are they keeping the non-conforming sign?
They're planning to keep the sign now and just reface the sign, which they're allowed to do.
Right.
As part of the special use project or special use permit, we are able to impose conditions on the special use. And so one we might consider, because this is a major redevelopment project, we may insist that sign be brought into compliance.
Yeah, I was thinking really about the glare from the lights, right, I drive by that spot all the time, haven't noticed it, so maybe it's not that big of a deal, but that's a concern.
Is that all?
That's it. Yeah, sorry, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Sepisi?
I just have a question. After looking at the plat and the drawings and stuff, is there any present or future plans for any kind of a detail shop associated with the car wash?
The petitioner has not stated anything like that, but I will leave it to them to answer.
Okay.
There's not really space to accommodate that.
That was actually my point, my hidden point. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Manning?
Yeah, my comment, just want to echo Commissioner Merrick about the wall packs. There are some businesses around that I noticed that they do have wall packs, and they do present a glare especially when I'm driving at night, it does, you know, there is an effect, so I definitely don't want to have, you know, that'll be my issue, you know, cause that's a very busy intersection and, you know, if the glare, you know, affected a driver, you know, it would, you know, it could cause, you know, injury. But that's it, you know, but I like that the petitioner is reviving that car wash, you know. I used to go there when it was, you know, functioning or in business, but, you know, glad to see it come back.
Thank you. Commissioner Troxel?
I just want to make sure, you did say a traffic study is being done, or has been done?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and that was to include 171st Street access, right?
Yes.
Okay. That would be my only concern. It's probably not as busy of a car wash today as it will be when they improve this, so there may be a lot more traffic there. That would be my only comment.
Thank you. And the only thing that I would add is, having looked at the traffic study, I think Commissioner Truxell makes an excellent point about it probably generating more business than it has previously. But the 33 maxed out, essentially, what's the throughput of the automated tunnel? Like, how long does it take somebody from the time they pull in to the time they pull out?
About a minute.
Oh, okay. So the stacking in the drive lane would not be a concern. That was my only question.
It can be modulated as well during peak.
Okay, so that it's faster?
Yes.
Okay, great, thanks. Okay, if there are no further comments or questions, we'll end this workshop discussion. The item is scheduled for a public hearing at the October 19th Plan Commission meeting. And I don't believe we have any members of the public present.
If I, just real quick, I'm sorry, just to get some clarity, so we can give the petitioner direction, am I hearing that we're generally not in favor of using wall pack light fixtures, and we'd like to see the plans revised?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do assume that resurfacing the existing sign is feasible, it can be done. Yes, okay,
Can I ask one more question?
of course.
Traffic flow, you brought this up. Traffic flow, once the car wash is completed and they're going out, is it going to be right turn only onto 171st Street? Okay.
I think it's gonna try to be.
Yeah.
Right, like,
That's a little tough.
it's how it's designed, but there isn't a raised median there, so conceivably people can make those turns.
Okay.
It'll be set up that way, but I'm not gonna promise.
Because-
Somebody I know isn't gonna try and do
Yeah,
that.
well, people left turn out of Jewel across that.
Yes.
Raised median.
It's exciting
not
without the
like-
raised median.
It's got the little.
The
sort of
ridges,
bumpy
yeah,
stuff,
it's
yeah,
textured.
yeah.
Okay.
And we're okay with the non-conforming sign remaining as is, just allowing them to reface? Okay.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Do we need to take a vote on that, or because, no, because it's a
No, we're just
workshop?
making
Okay,
feedback.
great.
Um,
Okay, seeing no members of the public who would wish to make comments, we will proceed to the good of the order. Staff, do you have anything for the, oh,
He's happy.
No.
oh, okay. Staff,
That
do
was
you,
his happy look. It's
do you have anything for the good of the order?
They were able to make it, sorry it was out for
You're fine.
most of
Yep.
it. They were able to make the comments and stuff, right?
Mhm.
So, okay, cool. Go to the order, I just have, the permit was issued for the Marriott, Residence Inn, so that goes back a while, it's been some, it actually goes back to like 2019, I think.
I think I might have been on the commission the first time that came up.
Yeah, so it's been a while. The permit was issued, so we have a pre-construction meeting happening in the next week or two. And so you might even start seeing dirt moving out there, but the construction should actually hopefully get underway here. And then Banging Gavel is open. I don't know if that's been mentioned here. I know it was at the board meeting. But that's really cool. And Manny, you might be, Eduardo, you might be the only one that was here when that originally came at this point. Cause that goes back to even before I was here, so it was, I think it was 2017. And it came back a few times for changes, but that, That's a cool project, and if you go inside of it, I think they did it justice in there, not making it ultra modern or anything like that, for our one actual historic building in town that's got some real history behind it. It's kind of cool, they kept a good vibe there, because I think they could have easily made it very modern in there, which is kind of the style of today, but I think that would have taken away from all the work they did on the exterior.
Is the grand staircase still there?
There's still the staircases there, the
That was
railings and the banisters, it all looks really cool. So, right now, I think they're open at night, but, I think they're just doing kind of a sneak peek soft openings now. And, I know they're open on the weekends and stuff, so check that out. The accessory structure, that was at the last meeting, that got denied by the village board on Tuesday. So we'll be working with the petitioner to hopefully get that taken down as soon as possible, as well as then the other work that was done without a permit. Make sure we get permits in and that gets inspected or corrected, so we'll work with.
Which
the
structure was that?
The
The
accessory structure that was over the
pug,
patio,
the,
that was built without.
yeah, the pergola,
And that's all I have.
so it was a canopy.
Mike broke the news that Amazon Fresh turned in a permit at the last meeting, so that's good news to see them moving forward with that. We still don't get much response from them, but good to see something happening there.
I do have a question before we move along. Because I somewhat misread the script that I was so kindly provided, do we need to go back and do a formal roll call for the motion to move the Harmony Square to the 19th? I just did a voice vote.
No, voice vote is fine.
Okay, just wanted to,
Yeah, it functions the same, and the only time you really need to break it up is if you're doing a recommendation or something like that, so.
Just
Or,
wanted to
you know,
check.
there's gonna be a divide or something like that, so voice vote is fine.
okay. Loath as I am to cede all of this power, we will now move on to adjourn the meeting, unless there's any other business to attend to. I just want to make sure.
Do we have to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Third.
Moved by Commissioner Merrick and seconded by Commissioner Sepisi. Was it, oh, was it?
It was a game.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It don't matter.
It doesn't really. Okay,
Was that the right end?
yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And you didn't.
7:23.
Good.